Are these the Amaran killer? Could these be the best budget lights on the market? Or are they a dud? I think every filmmaker knows that the #1 brand when it comes to lighting is Aperture. They have been making incredible products since 2005, and when they introduced their affordable little brother, Amaran, that gave a lot of filmmakers that had a lower budget a way to buy quality lights. But my question is, can we get the same quality but cheaper? So I got to searching all over the internet to find a light that could actually beat the Amaran 300C. First and foremost, it had to be affordable. It had to output a high CRI and TLCI rating of 94 and up. And I didn't want to get it off of any sketchy websites for obvious reasons. After scouring the internet for some time, I came across the Coolcam 300X, and it checked all my boxes. It was a 300 watt light, it had a high CRI and TLCI rating of 95, and the price of the light came in at only $399, which was more than $100 cheaper than the Amaran 300C. Now on paper, this light looked great, but what about in real life scenarios? Can this light actually perform? So I wanted to try both, the 300X and the 200X, on this true crime, moody style interview lighting. I started with the 300X as my main key light, and this is what it looks like with this light turned on. And my plan was to use the 200X as a fill or a hair light, and this is what it looks like with this light turned on. And this is what the final interview looked like. In my experience, both the 300 and the 200X were plenty bright enough to handle almost any lighting situation I needed. And what was great is that I didn't really notice any kind of weird color shift. Now, I was only running these lights for about 30 or 40 minutes. It could be possible that if you do have longer run times with these lights, you might get a slight color shift. But while I was using them, I didn't notice anything different. The 300 and 200X also connects to an app called Light Reel, where you can control every aspect of these lights, like intensity, the dimming curve, the Kelvin, and you can even add lighting effects, like pulsing, fire, TV, lightning, and faulty bulb. Now the material of these lights feels solid. They feel like they're made with good quality material, and they feel like the body of the lights are going to be able to stand the test of time. However, I really can't say the same for the cables themselves. And what I didn't really love about the cables is that they have this little silver piece that you have to screw in, which to me is not really my favorite. One thing that took me back is that when I got this package, I noticed that they didn't come with a case. They came with a carrying box, which to me was probably the biggest con of these lights. And right now, I'm just kind of using the box that they came with as a temporary solution, but I don't think that this box is going to hold up over time. I definitely think that this box is going to take a pretty mean beating, and it's going to eventually be just lights without a case, which are okay if you plan on using them in a studio, but if you plan on taking these lights out on shoots and being a workhorse, you're probably going to need to buy a separate carrying case or use an old carrying case with some old lights that you might have used in the past. This to me, like I said, was probably the biggest drawback and kind of took me by surprise. I didn't think that any lights in 2023 would come without a carrying case. So if you guys are interested in buying these, I think that they're great studio lights for being in a set location. But if you are going to take them out and bring them to a set or use them in a real life scenario, you definitely need to think about getting yourself a case for these. Now, overall, I think these lights are great for the price, and I think that these lights definitely deserve to be an option, especially if your budget is within that $300 to $500 range. I think that the only thing that really bugs me is the fact that they don't come with a case. I mean, these lights to me, for the price, are almost perfect. I think for the price and the amount of power that you get for these lights, I mean, 300 watts in the 300X and 200 watts in the 200X for that price is pretty incredible. Now that these lights are providing such power for such a good price, we're really lucky to be in the day and age that we are in, man, and be able to have really great affordable equipment to be able to make your films and your documentaries. I think that these are amazing studio lights. I'm actually using the 300X right now as my key light, and I'm going to continue to leave them in my studio and use them for my YouTube channel and my filmmaking. The only reason why I'm not going to bring these on set is because I have already a ton of lights with a bunch of carrying cases, and it's just a little bit more convenient for me to use those. But I think that if you are a beginner filmmaker looking to buy your first light and you want something really, really strong and powerful, I definitely consider checking these out. And always, like I always say, guys, rent before you buy. try out the equipment before you make that commitment. I think the biggest question that you should have for yourself is, do these lights serve that purpose for you, and what are you looking to gain out of these lights? That's what I would always consider if you're considering buying any kind of camera equipment. Overall, I think they're a great bang for your buck, and I definitely think that they deserve to be an option on your list, especially if you're using them in the scenarios like I'm using them in. But of course, I want to hear what you guys have to say, so drop some comments down below. Tell me what you guys think about these lights, or any other recommendations that you guys might have in this $300 to $500 price range. I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.